Anyway, okay, I don't know who's going to be coming in here. I'm just going to talk for a bit, and then as people come in, we can just kind of like get the conversation going. Let me hit this thing here. Live chat, all messages are visible. All right. Okay. So let's get started. Honey's over here on his computer, but he's going to join us in just a second. So this is the end of the month, guys. And I'm just going to talk. I don't know who's coming in or if anybody's coming in. Let me hit this button down here. Okay. Okay. So this is the wrap up. It's June 30th. I cannot believe it. I'm so glad that this month is over. Don't ask me why. I loved doing the challenge. I thought it was amazing. But at the same time, when you start something and you make all these commitments, you kind of want a break too, right? And so it's really nice to be able to wrap it up sometimes. So there were a lot of people, and I'm just going to go ahead and start, putting those names out there. There were a lot of people who did this challenge this month. They did the veggie challenge, they did step challenge. There were different types of challenges, and I just wanted to call you out and congratulate you because you made it through the month. And I want to ask you all kinds of questions about some of the things that you encountered and your pitfalls, some of the things that you've learned, things like that. All right, we have Connie P, who did the veggie challenge. Now, my moderator is usually Gina Pearson, and who has a wonderful channel. She is an amazing, amazing person. And so if she comes in, she's going to be my moderator. We haven't done a live in a long time, and I didn't send her a personal message to let her know we were going live. But I tried to get Honey to be the other moderator, and I think YouTube has changed some things around, so I couldn't really get that. I'm not the best techie person anyway, so yeah, he says he's not, but he is more than I am. So Connie P was doing the veggie challenge. Sandy from Life with Sandy, hey Sandy, she says I did the veggie challenge for the first time. You tried the snap peas. I used to love snap peas. Hey Lori from Relentless Pursuit of Shade, yay, I know, right? Nobody catches us live. Snap peas, Sandy, have gotten so expensive. I don't know, just every time I'm going to go buy them, I look at the price and I think twice, and I'm like, oh, it's such a little bag, but I love them with ranch. I used to eat them all the time. So Sandy was doing the veggie challenge. Marcella was doing the veggie challenge. Now, Lori from Relentless Pursuit of Shade, you said you were maybe going to do the veggie challenge, so did you end up doing it? I just want to know, Sparkly Susan is the peas were $3.99 for 8 ounces. That's not bad, but that's a lot for just like a cup, actually, $4. So that means like normally I would be the only one enjoying that, and I would feel bad for the rest of my family. Anyway, the kids probably wouldn't like them. That's kind of expensive, I think. Okay, so Dot C, she's doing veggie challenge, also daily step challenge, and I think Dot, you are also going to be increasing your protein and cutting your carbs. Always Judith was doing the veggie challenge, Joy's healthy plate as well. Oh, Lori, okay, so you got about 5 veggies a day. I really want to talk about that because I think we encountered a lot of challenges as far as like adding more veggies. Here's Honey. Okay, so if I miss somebody's question, can you kind of keep an eye out?
Show up here?
Yeah, it'll show up right here. All right. Deborah B, she was doing 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day, 5 days a week, which is amazing. And then let's see who else. Amy C, that's my sister. Amy was going to be backing off of the soda, and she was finding it really hard to do that. Hey, Moscow Frog Lover, it's so glad I'm glad to see you. I did put the chaffle recipe in the description box on the last video, just to let you know that we were talking about. I made Honey some chocolate Oreo chaffles for Father's Day. So, and Gina, yay! Our moderator is
Gina,
here.
help!
Yay! I know we couldn't figure it out.
I don't got it.
Okay, Angie M was doing 7,500 to 10,000 steps a day. Okay, great. And then Donna B was doing 5 points of veggies daily, and Kathy
Thank
T is doing. Are you still doing volumetrics? Oh, thank you, Sandy. She's awesome. Okay, so let's get started. I wanted to ask the people who were doing the extra steps. Let me put this question out there. I wanted to know how did you incorporate extra steps? Because it sounds easy enough, but when you get down to it, I mean, doing it all the time, sometimes it's not that easy. So be answering us on that.
Linda.
And hey, Linda, thanks for coming. Okay, so I want to know about the people who did the step challenge. How did you incorporate the extra ones? I wanted to start off also on some things that I've learned this month, and jump out there and let us know what are some of the things that you've learned this month in doing this challenge, whether it's the veggie challenge or whatever you challenged yourself on. I think you can't help but learn some things about yourself that maybe are very surprising. You think you know everything about yourself, and then you do another challenge and you're like, oh man, I need to work on this, or something. Just something happens. One of the things that Honey learned this month, and if you saw our videos before, you'll know, is that he realizes now that butter has calories. So he was.
That's true. I did say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing like 5 cups of coffee with butter in it
Daily.
maybe just maybe 4, but maybe 6. So on average 5.
Yeah.
And my weight just went up and up. Well, it plateaued first, and then it went up like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And as soon as I dropped that down to 2, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, cleared right up. I'm back down to losing.
It helped a lot. So I think that's one of the things. Carry coffee. I'm not sure what carry coffee is.
Bulletproof is what I've heard it.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. Is that the same thing, Lori? Yeah.
Regular old Winco coffee.
Oh, keto coffee.
Oh,
yeah.
keto.
I thought, oh, it's something new we don't know about.
Yeah, I think it's
like
keto.
a keto coffee. Yeah. And which is okay if you're not having anything else for breakfast but that coffee. But
oh, please.
But yeah, that wasn't.
Yeah, I ate all the same stuff. I just poured on a bunch of coffee, and that really is surprising. I didn't think it would matter, but it does.
Yeah, it does. Another thing is, as far as like adding the extra veggies, and I really want to know how you guys feel about this. Gina says check your cholesterol now. Yours went through the roof with the keto coffee, Gina.
I bet.
Yeah, he's gonna. When was the last time you did your blood work?
It's been a few months, but I'm due
Is
again.
it time?
I'm gonna have one soon.
I just took mine this morning, you guys, and that's gonna be something special. No, not yet. They said from 2 to 5 days, so next week I should be able to get it, and then we'll have a nice little talk. But anyway, so as far as like adding in the veggies. One thing that we really learned is that it really takes a lot of preparation. It really does.
Prep helps so much.
It does. And you have to be like super mindful about adding it in, because it's not like you can just go to the refrigerator, open it up, grab raw veggies and just chow down on it. Most of the time you need to cut them, steam them, or prepare them in some way ahead of time.
It was so helpful just to go to the refrigerator and grab a little container and have 2 servings of vegetables ready.
Yeah, and that's what I did. Was I would get those like big bags. So you get them at like Walmart or something, and it's like what did they call that? It's like a broccoli mix.
Oh, broccoli mix.
Yeah, broccoli with cauliflower and carrots in it. And I would just take that and steam the whole bag, and then I'd separate them into 2 servings each, and so he could just grab them as he was going along to go to work. So
my biggest plus here was that Kat would make them for me.
Gina.
She would set me up and give me a smoothie with 2 veggies in the morning. Yeah. I'd grab a container with 2 servings for my lunch. Yeah. And then I could have a big old salad at dinner, and there's my 5.
Yeah, I would make that soup sometimes. I'll take like the 1 can of asparagus. You've seen me do that before. A can of green beans. I used to use peas, but I switched to cauliflower. And make that WW vegetable soup in the crock pot on Sunday and just eat it all week. Oh, I need to do that. Yeah, I used to do the thing that I put in the blender But I thought I would do that more this month, but
did
we
too,
kind of
but
leaned away from
you didn't
that.
do it.
Yeah, and
Maybe
then
not.
leaned on salads. But salads, you know me, I kind of feel like it takes a long time to make and it takes a long time to eat. So what I would do is I'd just like take the romaine and I'd wash it and spin it and cut it up and just store it in a Ziploc bag, and then I can just like grab it out and make it into whatever salad that I wanted, and that helped a lot.
Yeah,
I
you got your
think.
salad game down.
Yeah,
You were whipping
yeah.
up some salad.
One of the easiest and the tastiest way for us to do veggies was to saute them. And I know that that's where I think a lot of people are going to differ, because us being low carb, we don't mind adding a little bit of avocado oil or butter and some onion or bacon and
Tiny bit of
ham
bacon goes a
to
long
it.
way, man.
Right, and that's what a lot of people are going to kind of like. The ones who are maybe wanting to do more low fat are going to steer clear of those things. One thing that I remember about being overseas is that we ate over there, and whenever we ordered vegetables, they always seemed to cook them in like butter and with meat, some kind of meat. You ordered peas, it came with ham. You
Little
ordered,
smoked ham,
yeah, and
Mhm.
it really changed them. And
just a little bit.
yeah, and the kids, they love to eat green beans if I cook them with a little bacon, just a little smattering. I mean, if you were to like really count how much bacon everybody gets, they probably get maybe a tablespoon at the most, right? But it does help. Yeah, or if even, yeah, that's real bacon though, not like bacon bits. I don't think that would be the same.
No.
I don't think so, but it helps a lot. So that's one of our favorite ways of eating veggies, is to saute them with that, and I'll take the hit on the fat. We'll use just the avocado oil, olive oil, or butter, pretty much. Maybe ghee sometimes. So, oh, and then also we started putting it in smoothies, right? Okay, so
Vegetables.
yeah, vegetables in
bacon.
smoothies. No, not that. Yeah, we're not that crazy about bacon. Okay, so I know you are. So we would use spinach in the smoothie, because spinach is the least amount of a bitter green that you could put in a smoothie. So we thought we could get 2 cups of spinach in easily, or maybe some kale. I'd pick some from the garden and I'd put it in there, put a little green powder in there. Now, what ended up happening was I would have all of these bitter greens in the morning, plus that there was a week that I was going crazy on peanuts, right? And between the oxalates and the peanuts, that set off the IC, this whole bladder condition that I have. And so
Wiped her
that's,
out.
yeah, that became a problem.
Knocked her down.
Spinach
We
is,
thought it was just the peanuts, but then
No,
Kat was researching a little bit, and she came up with the
spinach is like the
oxalates,
highest.
and she had gone
Yeah.
way above on the greens.
Yeah.
or
So
the
that might be a
oxalate
problem for
containing
some
greens.
people.
Yeah.
Right, is the amount of oxalates. You could get kidney stones, you could get, some other problems in your urinary tract system if you're especially sensitive to that. And so if you ever want to read a book that tells you all about the bladder and the bladder health and stuff like that, this book, I was going to share it with you. It's the Better Bladder book by Wendy Cohen, and she talks about the effect of oxalates in there on your system. And I had forgotten that information. So what I ended up doing was just kind of like taking a U-turn and going, okay, let me add some other kind of veggie. And the medium oxalate or the low oxalate ones would be more like the cabbage and the zucchini and other things like that. So I just kind of like would take those out and add other ones in. Anyway, so that was something else that I kind of learned this month. Another thing, okay, since everybody was adding more steps, Sandy, did you add more steps in this month? How are you doing with that? Because I haven't been able to catch up on a lot of videos, and I'm wondering if I know you were talking about maybe stepping that up at one point. No pun intended.
Okay, my challenge was put 4 cardios in the week, and
Right.
the first 3 weeks, no problem, did it.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, I had to start sleeping in, and I didn't make my. I missed 1 day last week, and this week I've already missed 2. So.
Oh, right. Well, now that, it's been a real challenge. I was trying to explain that on my last video, is that, it's been a challenge to our whole schedule has just been upside down this month because the kids have been in a lot of different activities and stuff, which is going to slow down really soon, but it's done a number on us. But as far as like the steps go, one thing that we have found out is that as important as it is to add those steps in, it's equally important to rest and to get that rest in. And because all of a sudden it comes crashing down, and that's what's kind of happened to him as well this week, is that all of a sudden it's just like you're dead tired,
I
you
need
know.
some rest.
Yeah, you don't realize. I think there were two or 3 days this week that I was super busy, and I had gotten about 22,000 steps one day, 23 the other 2 days, and I just couldn't even get out of bed, and I didn't know why, but it was because of needing rest. So being mindful of that. I want to know with you guys, did you experience pretty much the same thing with your increase in your steps? Did you find that you needed even more rest, and did you pay attention to that, and were you getting that? Another thing, okay, so it took about 2 weeks as far as with me giving up. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. So as far as me giving up the Diet Coke, remember that was one of my challenges, was to step out of that kind of a soda and just have the Zevia and Virgil's, which are sweetened with stevia. So I think it was about 2 weeks before I finally was able to just go, okay, I don't want it anymore, right? But
You got out of the habit.
yeah, I got out of the habit, and I'm good with that now. I did start drinking the Celsius drinks. I meant to grab one to show them, but I've had it in my grocery haul. They're called Celsius, and it's like a flavored water, but it has a little bit of green tea in it.
They're good.
Yeah, it's really, really good, but it really, let's see, Sandy says it finally got back to walking every morning. It's getting a little easier.
To get up earlier when it's not so hot.
Yeah. Oh, look, it says add moderator. Finally, it came up. Let me see. Where'd your message go? Oh, there it goes. Okay. It's getting a little easier waking up earlier to walk before it gets too hot. Oh, right. How hot does it get there, Sandy? Like the worst of it? Because I think right now today it was like 105 here, which it's really humid here, which makes it
It's starting to get
worse.
humid. Yeah, this is our
Yeah.
monsoon season.
Now you're in Michigan, right, Sandy? I think so. Is it humid there? I wonder, you were in Michigan once.
Yeah,
Right?
well,
It was
yeah,
in
I
the
was in the
winter time.
winter. Yeah.
Yeah, so, let's see, oh yeah, the Coke. Okay, so, Lisa W says, I'm struggling oh, okay. She's gonna retype, I think. Okay, so as far as the Coke goes, I don't know, you guys. I mean, I kind of feel like I've kind of beat needing to add it in, but at the same time, it was like that one, I want to say guilty pleasure. You know what I mean? Everybody has to have one, so I probably will. I know, right, Lori? 105? It's like.
But it's a dry heat.
Yeah, that's what people say. It's not dry right now, but yeah, dry
Okay, so
heat
the
does
soda,
make a
the
difference.
Coke you dropped, you got out of the habit.
Yeah, I don't
And
know if I'm gonna add it back
You
though or
didn't think
not.
you were going to be able to. You
I
were
don't
like
know.
going off the wall, and then one day you said, you know what?
I mean, the Celsius has the green
It's got
tea in
the
it, and it
green tea,
kind of
yeah.
like gives you that bit of caffeine without
Little
giving
bit.
you the, oh, I gotta have it feeling. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll add it or not. I probably will. Let's see. So cutting carbs. Dot, I don't know if you're out there, but if you're not there now, you'll probably watch the replay. I want to know how you were doing about cutting carbs, because you said that you were going to be doing that as well as adding protein. So I want to know how you were doing with that. Okay, you guys, as far as the veggies go, can you answer this? Do you think that adding more veggies in has had an effect to keep your appetite down? Did that happen? It's 95 today where Sandy is. Oh, that's not too bad, Sandy.
I say-
I mean, it's hot, especially if you're not used to it. But for us, it's like, oh, kind of nice, I guess. We're in the
I say I
desert.
stay as hungry as I've always stayed.
You
When I'm
think
hungry,
so?
I'm hungry. But that's key to
Yeah.
that I found that as being the key to getting vegetables in is eating when I'm hungry. Not just saying I'm going to be hungry in a half hour, I should eat. No.
Yeah.
When I'm hungry, I appreciate
Michigan,
the
just
vegetables.
north of Detroit.
Michigan.
Yeah. Well, whenever I would make breakfast and I would make like an omelet and I would try to put like 3 different servings of veggies in it, I noticed that like filled us up so easily. But because they were a lot of water-rich veggies, does that make sense? Yeah, water-rich veggies. I don't get full with veggies, so I up the protein. Oh, okay. That's a great idea. That'll keep you full longer, because I was just about to say, when we had all those veggies, you would be full for a little while, and then like 2 hours later, it'd be like, where'd it go? You know, and so you'd need something. So I would have like a half an ounce of pork rinds at the ready. Honey would have a couple of eggs, a cheese stick or something.
And the pork rinds.
Yeah, but we found out that if you up the veggies, it does fill you up for a little bit, but then
It helped me at dinner to preload with a couple of
really
servings of veggies.
Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry to hear about your dad passing. It's not an easy time. I know.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. She says she's off now, but she teaches 6th through 8th grade students with cognitive impairments. That is a huge challenge in of itself. Wow. Okay. So you've had some other things that you've been dealing with this month, big time. Yeah. So anyway, so hopefully it just takes time, doesn't it? Sometimes it takes time. Yeah. We lost my mom in November of last year, and it still feels
pretty raw.
Yeah. So I know it takes time. So now now as far as I needed to ask you on the veggies here, you guys, did you develop a love for certain veggies or more of a fondness for a type of veggie? Okay, and for me, I would say maybe. Yeah, I would say probably zucchini, and the reason why was because it was filling. And with you didn't.
I appreciate vegetables. I always have, and although even though there's some I used to not enjoy at all, Kat got me eating them just fine. The way she cooks them and preps them. And I didn't really have any new favorites.
Do you feel they cut the sugar cravings? I think they did, and which I noticed the very first few days when we were doing this. I had noticed that, and I recognized that I wasn't looking for the sweet thing after the meal. Later on, I would have like half a Quest bar, but the reason why I was doing it was because it was habitual, and I wanted that ritual of having something like that, and it wasn't because I needed it, right? But I think it did. I think it cut down my sugar cravings.
Just getting involved with Weight Watchers back in December is what helped me a lot get over, because the sugary stuff wouldn't make the points.
Yeah.
So I've kicked a big part of my sugar habit back then.
Yeah.
Real quick. I mean, within weeks.
Yeah. Lori, I thought I would make many more zoodles, and turns out I didn't. I like zoodles, but I don't know why I didn't.
Because we just have so many vegetables. We've got homegrown stuff. We buy a
those
lot
are really
at the store,
good.
and
you know what
never got around to making.
Before we went low carb, I was mixing the zoodles with like spaghetti so that I had that spaghetti filling still. And then when I just went low carb, I don't know, you get this thing in your mind and it's like, oh, I can't have it my way. You know what I mean? I probably had a thing about that. But zoodles are great. And spaghetti squash, that's great. I mean, we've got like, I think 5 more growing in the garden right now. So those are great. We need to have some more of those. Okay, as far as like your walking and upping them, what time of day has worked out best for you to get in those upped steps? And do you think that you had to change your usual time in order to meet your goal? I could probably eat my way to roasted asparagus. I had garlic powder and lemon powder. That sounds great. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
And that asparagus I love, and asparagus,
Spaghetti squash.
Yeah, the asparagus will help you rid that water weight. You know, it does. I mean, we would have
Well,
it.
yeah.
Well, it's supposed to, right?
We have them
Night
on
before
Tuesday.
weigh-in, and we're like, yeah. The next day you get up and the water weight's still there. You're like, what happened,
What?
asparagus?
Yeah, asparagus let me
I thought we had a
down.
deal.
But when it works,
Yeah.
good.
Right? Yeah, I got a whole bunch in the freezer right now. I blanched it all on sale, and then I've got it in there. So I should take it out. I love asparagus. Okay, this is the big question here, you guys. Are you going to continue your changes that you made? I mean, do you feel that they created a habit, that it was habitual enough to create? You know how they say you do something for 30 days, 60 days, whatever it is, and it becomes a habit. Do you feel that that happened and that there was a change that happened? And if so, are you going to continue the things that you did? Oh, Lisa, you know what? It feels like that. I know it feels like that. But yeah, let's see. Our second son just graduated and was wonderful. Yeah.
You know, when a big life change like that happens, when
Yeah.
a parent passes, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool to focus on the things that are renewing, like your child graduating. That life's gonna move on, and it's a
Good
whole
to see you, fun
regenerated.
kids. Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's
That's
cool.
true. Yeah. It's I have found that. Yeah, let me just take a moment here because there's really, you know, this is something that there's somebody here that's kind of like carrying a real heavy heart, and this is really important. It affects everything. The other day I was thinking about, and you know, I know there's everybody just handles grief in their own way, but the other day I was thinking about my mom, and I was just, I don't know what I was doing, but I was thinking about my mom, and I thought, you know, there's not going to be a time where I'm just going to go, I'm, I'm over it. I don't know, for lack of a better way to put it, it's not going to happen. Her absence is always going to be with me, but it's part of me now. It's part of me, and you learn to continue, but you'll always miss them. It's something that's always going to be there. And I thought, I guess this is something that I just have to learn to go on with, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I just thought, you know, it was comforting to me in some way to know that my grief for her was mine, and nobody could take that away from me. And that's really precious to be able to hold on to it and work it out the way that you need to. You know what I mean? Everybody's different, and that's really important. So yeah, it's a real precious, you know, time to work through it. I don't know. It's really hard to put feelings into words sometimes, I think, and I think I'm especially not good at it. But yeah, Gina says, to answer your question, the pain. Oh, these keep going away. I don't want them to go away. Yeah.
Lisa, to answer your question, no, the pain doesn't actually really end. However, at some point you start remembering the good times and smiling more about the memories. And that's the good point, Gina.
I love that.
That is true. She worked her way into my heart big time. I mean, back when we were dating. Yeah. And she's as much as my mom as yours, really.
Yeah, no doubt.
I miss her too.
No doubt.
I remember a lot of the good times. Mosca, Life with Sandy, I'm still going to try veggies I thought I didn't like. That's what Sandy
I'm so
said.
glad to hear that, Sandy. I remember when there was a time that you were like, I don't really like the veggies. I remember that. And I think you've come a long way as far as that goes when I watch what you have.
Mosca Frog Lover said, my mom has been gone for 20 years and my sister has been gone for 3 years. It hurts like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
But I learned to celebrate them every day. I still talk out loud to them on bad days. That's
sweet. I love that.
And then Gina says, at some point it becomes more of a fond memory that brings you joy instead of complete pain, if that makes sense. And that's putting it
does
perfect.
make sense. Lori has to go. Okay, she's going to the gym. Yay! Go ahead. Have a great time, Lori. Great to see you too.
Hey, you were talking about making a habit as the vegetable increase, or steady, consistent vegetable.
Yes.
A habit.
Are you guys going to continue this?
Can I get on my soapbox?
Yes, go ahead.
I found there were two things. I mean, since we hit on the sugar thing earlier, that, you know, sugar, you get a sugar high, right? You feel good on eating sugar.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's another good that I've realized when I eat a good amount of vegetables.
Yeah.
And when I finish with a meal, I'm not all wasted and wiped out and feeling lethargic like a sugary or a high carb meal would do.
Right.
So there's two types of good, right? The sugar good and then the vegetable good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've decided I'm digging the vegetable good enough that I'm gonna keep doing it. As long as my personal nutritionist helps me out.
I will.
I'm not
I'll
putting
do my
it all on
best.
her, but man, has it helped. It has really helped.
And I will too. I've thought about this, and I'm like, of course, I will. I feel like now that we're doing low carb, and sometimes it seems like the meals are more keto, that that it's easier for us, I guess, because most of the meals are just like vegetables and protein, right? Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Lisa, this is a wonderful group. I have to admit, we've really been blessed with a sweet community here.
She says you never think you did all you could have, and that's true.
That's true. Absolutely.
Especially if there's any distance involved. We were 6 hours away.
And I think that's something that you're always gonna play over in your mind. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know I do. But. Yeah.
I mean, you even think back to when, I was so rude to her that day.
And she probably didn't even notice.
Good.
Rosie, hi. Oh my goodness. I don't think I did this much challenge, but I'm happy to be here and learn something. Oh, you're so awesome.
It's hard to reach for veggies, Rosie. It's hard.
It is.
It's like we were saying, you gotta cook, you cut them, cook them, steam them.
At the beginning of the month, when we started the veggie challenge, I didn't realize how much we weren't reaching for the veggies because how much of your meal didn't even include them. This morning we met we went on a date for breakfast, right? The kids were busy, so we're like, let's go have breakfast. And we didn't have any vegetables.
I had potatoes.
We didn't. Well, potatoes aren't really. Those are a carb. But we had the eggs and the sausage, and I snuck a couple of keto breads in with me to have. And then they brought a fruit plate, and I picked out a few of the melons and the strawberries. But
hot sauce?
That's not a vegetable. But we had none. I think this was the first day that we really didn't.
You know what? We didn't have.
We're gonna have to catch up now because now it feels weird.
Yeah.
But at the time we were having it, it didn't feel weird because that's usually how we would eat before.
That's eating out.
Is that people don't make room for them.
When we went to Denny's, we would. Yeah. I told them hold the potatoes and hold the fries and bring me broccoli.
We really have. Normally, we've learned to really adapt and look for that. Like at Red Lobster, at Denny's, everywhere we've gone, we say hold the bread, take off the potatoes. Bring me the broccoli or the Brussels sprouts or something.
And that'll get them in.
Yeah, and and then, oh my goodness, the hardest thing I think at the beginning was saying no to the dessert. And they'd say, "Oh, do you have room for dessert?" I wanted to say yes, but no. We just say no, we don't. We're gonna go eat a Quest bar in the car, right? That sounds great. but yeah, we got used to saying no and it takes a while, to get used to stuff like that.
But we were in the challenge. That was what helped was that we were in a challenge and we wanted to be successful.
And we wanted to be true to it, true to ourselves, true to you guys, true to our commitment.
We knew we were going to have this conversation.
Well, exactly, right? Yeah. And A1C, the blood work doesn't lie. I actually suffered from migraines. Oh my goodness.
How cool. She said the protein, Moscow Frog Lover says increasing protein helped her migraines.
That's awesome.
Phenomenal.
She hasn't had one since? That's great. Only veggies I eat are asparagus, broccoli, and onions. Oh,
love me some
nice.
onions.
Yeah. Those are good ones to have, too. Rosie says, do you both recommend low carb for everyone? If so, what book or influencer do you see being more helpful? Okay,
shoot.
That's a good question.
Name.
Oh, okay. We follow different doctors and then we share them. But I definitely would never say that it would be for everybody, because I think that everybody's body is different.
We
and,
are all so unique. There's
yeah,
no doubt.
and honestly,
But there's some basics.
Yes.
There's some basics.
yeah, there are.
The increase of the eating carbohydrates drives your insulin up, which makes your body
Which is
store
kind of
fat.
a basic,
If you bring
function.
your carbs down,
Right, we're not keto.
and I don't know what
We're more
down
low
is
carb.
for you, but if you bring
Right.
carbs down, you bring the insulin level down, your body uses the fat in your body for energy.
There are some
Right.
basic mechanisms on how things work, but at the same time, there are other things that people have going on that could be affected or affect those things, and so it may not work as well, or it might work differently. So I found that there are different phases for me that I go through in my life, and so it's like I may be able to stay low fat for a while, but then at some point my individual physiology, it's like, I don't know, it's like the scale tips as far as being carb sensitive or something like that, and then all of a sudden I have to change it up. And let's see, my vegetable favorites list is very small. That's
show
okay,
you
as long as you got
Dr. Berg?
blue. Oh,
There's
Dr. Berg.
Dr. Eric Berg.
Yeah.
Oh, that's backwards.
Oh, it's
Dr. Eric Berg, Berg.
Yeah, he does a lot of great low carb
Pretty cool.
stuff. Yeah, we listen to Dr. Eckberg.
Eckberg,
is his name.
yeah.
He's
Oh,
got some
Eckberg's
great
phenomenal.
information. If you're going low carb, and if you want to go extremely low carb like a keto, I would say Dr. Eric Westman is really, really good. He's a doctor that really works with severely diabetic people and diabetically challenged people, and really tries to keep them. But I think most of his patients, he tells them to count like total carb, not net carb, and so he keeps them really low, like under 25
you
grams
sent me
a
last
day.
night?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he's saying do the total
Yeah,
carb,
and that
yeah.
for me, that is really, really low. Because right now we stay pretty much at like 50 a day. But
Really,
I think,
that much?
yeah, and it at one time it seemed like that was really low. And now I'm going, you know what? If we wanted to do a different challenge and go, you know what, maybe we could lower it, I could see us lowering it now. I couldn't see that before. Now I can, because our body has adjusted. So, and that's what I mean, is that your body goes through different phases where it adjusts to different things. So you kind of have to go with that.
Rosie said her her favorite vegetable list is very small, and all I can say, Rosie, is if you start off by throwing a little onion and butter in the pan first,
Butter helps everything.
you could add broccoli.
Yes, Dr. Berry.
Dr. Berry.
Dr. Berry's an amazing channel. In fact, I want to talk about that a little bit. Did I interrupt you?
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying, yeah, a little spice. Shake Tasty.
Oh,
Shake
yeah,
Tasty is
Shake
good on
Tasty.
vegetables. And
Oh, my zero carb life. Oh, I need to look that one up.
I like to throw veggies on the grill, and I'll admit I didn't do that much during this challenge, but that
Yeah,
helps
a
them go
few
down, too.
times. July begins tomorrow. Are you continuing the challenge? Oh, I think, you know what? I think we're going to continue to do it, but I don't think we're going to do it as a challenge. We'll probably take a little break. I don't know. What do
I'm
you
sure
think?
I'm still going to be getting 4 to 5 vegetables a day. I'm
I-
sure of it.
Rosie,
I'm
I
telling
think
you, I'm
that we're
digging
just
this.
going to continue
I still eat a
doing
lot of
things
meat.
this way.
I eat my
Yeah.
eggs, I eat my cheese, I still have a hearty
Yeah.
steak, you know. I'm just preloading most of my meals with
I
vegetables.
learned how important it is too, because if you're doing low carb and you're doing, or you're doing keto, for me, and a lot of keto people will have lesser veggies because some veggies have carbs too, so they count those as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
But for low carbers like us, it's like with the increase in vegetables, and this might be TMI, but it's really important. We took a kind of a step back from, we took a step back from having the fiber supplement because we didn't need it.
Didn't need that fiber.
Right, because
That's
we were
right.
having all
you
that
know, I
fiber
didn't even
with the
think about that.
veggies.
Yeah, I haven't had a fiber drink in a couple
Right,
weeks.
and so I'm like, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be, right?
Mm.
But we've gotten so far from that we started taking that supplement and starting to rely on it. we haven't been able to do that. Your number one cookbook for low carb. Okay, there are so many different ones. And in fact, I was going to show you some of the ones that I bought from, I went to a thrift store this week and I love finding stuff. But my number one for easy low carb cooking is this chef. And I like this book right now. This is Living Low Carb. This is George Stella. He's a chef that he and his whole family went low carb and they lost. So I know I do. I mention a lot. They all lost a tremendous amount of weight, and I wonder if there's a picture in here of them. So up here, they used to all have a struggle with their weight, and once they went low carb, they all kind of, they balanced out. But George Stella's books, and I found all of them like on Amazon, and they're pretty. Year it came out. This one, let's see, when did it come out? They're really easy, and that's what I like, is that they don't take like a ton of time to prepare. This one's 2014. It came out in 2014. This is one of the latest ones. The older books that he has, he uses soy flour a lot, and soy flour, I don't even think you could find it anymore. I used to be able to find it, and I think maybe you could probably just order it, but I can't do soy anymore. So I'm thinking that you could use almond flour. This book and the more recent ones, he uses almond flour. But George Stella is probably my top pick because it's so darn easy.
Rosie's asking what year it came out.
Oh yes, 2014 for this one. I can't believe this is that old. Actually, I thought this was one of the newer ones.
There's some old stuff.
Yeah, this one is actually really good. This is the Wheat Belly Cookbook. And so, can you read those? Yeah, there have been a lot of new products. I know there's tons of them. And so you can almost go to the store and never have to make anything that's homemade, because you can just buy everything. But I still kind of like that. It's more economical, I think, to make your own like low carb baked stuff, because they are so darn expensive. Even if they are available, I think that sometimes I know that the base ingredients cost more, but sometimes I think they don't have to charge as much as they do. But this one, Wheat Belly Cookbook, is pretty good, and you can see I got this one from the library. Anytime I have this many tabs in it, it means there's a ton of great recipes in there. Leanne Vogel, she has a YouTube channel. She does keto diet cookbooks, and she puts a humongous amount of work into these. I mean, they're really wonderful illustrations, but she does a lot of work at the beginning to kind of like introduce you to all the concepts and everything. And she really, really makes a wonderful cookbook. This one's kind of good, Easy Keto for Easy People. And this is by Jennifer Marie Garza. They're really keto, low carb friendly recipes, but I like easy and fast. And so that's a good one. This one, I don't know about this one yet. I haven't made anything in it, but I found it, Keto Fat Bombs, Sweets and Treats. This is by Urvashi Petri. I don't know, Petri. I'm not really saying that correctly, I'm sure. But this is just, I'm not huge for fat bombs, because one time I went low carb years ago. Has lots of cool stuff in it. I went low carb years ago, and I started making fat bombs, and this was before I acclimated to low carb. So I wouldn't suggest, if you're going like low carb, to make things like that at first, because your body's still in the mode for wanting sweet treats and wanting the carbs. And then if you come to rely on things like this, you're just going to put the weight on, and that's what I did. So I'm super careful now about making things that are heavy dessert fat stuff, because I put on like a lot, like 10 pounds at one point doing that. This was years ago. And so I learned as far as, how to do that. But anyway, so those are some. You guys know that I love cookbooks and that I love finding them at thrift stores. So those are just a few of them. But yeah, so do you have anything else to say, honey, about, because I think we've been going on for 44 minutes and I don't want to bore people, and they probably have lives to get to. But
no, I'm good.
Okay, overall, it was a really good experience, you guys, I think anyway, and I'm hoping it was for you too, right? And I just got to give you guys major props and credits for hanging in there. I mean, this is the end of the month. You did this all month. That's great. And so I don't know. I took took blood work today. We'll find out what happens.
See how it looks.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to really change anything though, because I think this is it now, right? This is part of us.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. So anyway, does anybody else have anything to say? I think we're probably going to cut you loose here so you can enjoy your day. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Gina, for coming in and moderating for us. You are amazing. And you guys, Gina Pearson, if you don't know, she's got a channel and she's got a beautiful voice too. So once in a while you can catch her singing. All right, Life with Sandy. She's got another channel. I think everybody here knows that. Awesome and wonderful. And we're going to get back to watching some of that pretty soon. We got to catch up. All right, guys.
Okay.
Want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Thank you, guys. Thanks so much for joining the
It was
challenge.
fun.
Yeah, it's amazing. Take care. We love you guys.
Oh.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Moscow Frog Lover. I love that name. Okay, guys. Have a wonderful day. And we're off.